Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Heavens of Sorcery. So, last episode, of course, we went to the Misty World, we did all that stuff, all of our preliminary kind of Misty World work, and we got Botania somewhat started, right? Not a whole lot of Botania done, but as much as we can really do. Now, what I want to do today is, and what I really need to do, is I need to go to the Aether, so that we can actually push into the rest of the magic mods. This will also complete one of our quest tabs in our quest book. So basically just make a portal here out of glowstone blocks, hit it with one of those otherworld core things, and it is going to open up a portal into the Aether. Very, very simple. So let's go ahead and pop in and see where we spawn in at. We have spawned in on clouds. I can make this work, actually. This isn't a big deal. Okay, so we got some diamond gloves and some glowstone dust from that quest, and that does complete the apprentice magic quest line. Now, we need to find marble. At first glance, the Aether seems like paradise, but be wary. Many of the creatures there despise intrusion and will eject you to the world below at first opportunity. However, navigate you must, as the first thing we seek is marble, which you'll need to collect from the ruins that litter the place. Now you'll notice there's ruins all about, an absolute ton of the things. So let's go ahead and just walk out here a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and just glide on down with my elytra, because I can always do /island home. Whoop. Whoops. If worse comes to worse. So that's not a problem for us. I did also go ahead and make some other diamond armor here, because we did get a fair few diamonds last episode, so I figured might as well. So what do we got here? We got constellation paper. We've got ender pearls. Over here we have gold and iron and aquamarine and constellation paper. Sounds good. And we have completed Marvelous, and where there's water and star charts, apparently. Lighten up, they want us to get the luminous crafting table and resonating wand. It says with marble, aquamarine, living wood, and mana pearls at your disposal, you can perform a ritual to put together a crafting altar that is directly, though weakly, attuned to the power of starlight, along with the resonating wand necessary to operate it. Sounds good. Oh, we make them through the ritual table. Where there's water, while collecting marble, you may have noticed some strange lights or even a large glimmering crystal. The reason we collected marble is for its affinity to such things, and as such, its ties to the astral magics. It's not the only such material, though. The other is present in the quick soil of the Aether, but will require coaxing by the purification process of a pure daisy. Hopefully we can figure out a way to make one. We've already got one. We're supposed to collect aquamarine, and we can take quick soil and turn it into aquamarine shale. Which that quest is completed, we did get the aquamarine. And then it seems that some of these old marble structures still contain some things left behind by those who built them. Of particular value are the notes which detail the constellations of the night sky. As always, knowledge is power, so it's worthwhile to collect these. Shift right click with the astral tome to add these notes to it. Okay. Well, let's go ahead, shift right click, and let's dump our notes into there. Alright. Now, I want to pop up, there's a few other things I'd like to find. Who knows? Iron and bones, and more constellation papers, and more bones. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to add these in there. These are going to be constellations that we're going to find out about later. Now, there is one more altar over here that I'd like to check out, and I've only found 2 acre plants, but I'm sure over time we will find plenty of them, I should think. But I think initially it's going to take us a lot of those, because I can only assume that Embers is going to be our next stop, and we are going to need probably a bit of lead for that, so we'll see how things go. A lot of gold, a lot of iron from this. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do a /island home now. Because we've pretty much got everything. I think the quests that remain are lighten up and don't lick the lead. Okay. So that was pretty much our first push into the Aether right there. Alright, now to actually make this, we are going to need sooty marble, then 2 pieces of just marble, and then some pattern framed living wood. So that's just planks, and then the sooty marble is default. Let's see, this stuff, also our living wood. I didn't need that much. I really just need that. And then our sooty marble. There we go. And we'll go ahead and get the luminous crafting table crafted up. I need to move this, actually, for right now, just so it's a bit closer. I have a feeling we're about to start into, like, all the mods, I think. But we're getting kind of close to it, I think. Whoops, it's that. There we go. And that is going to get us our luminous crafting table. Boom. And then we need the resonating wand, which is 2 aquamarine, mana pearl, marble, and a simple ironwood wand. Okay, now remember the mana pearl, oh, it requires a nacre pearl. I'm just going to take a waste. I don't know if there's any real difference to making it. I mean, it seems like the mana cost and the output are the same, at least according to JEI, so we'll just roll with that. We're going to have that and that. A piece of our marble. And I am going to need this right here, which I can make more of these, you know, fairly easily. But I know there's eventually going to be an upgraded version of that, so there we go. There's our mana pearl. And there we go. We can get our resonating wand. Ah! Lighten up and your vision expands. Okay, so that quest is done. Now next up, here we go. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. With the luminous crafting altar, we have the means to focus starlight into crafting. With this, you can make another altar from living rock, which can focus mana to create runes embodying various aspects of the world. When crafting on the runic altar, finish by dropping living rock on it and right-click Wand of the Forest. Yeah, pretty default. And they want us to get just the runic altar is all we need. And then Rocky Road, aside from its use in crafting with the luminous crafting table, the resonating wand also resonates with a rare type of crystal found deep underground in the misty world. While the wand allows you to locate the rock crystal ore from the surface, retrieving it will require digging deep into the mist, so prepare accordingly. Okay, so we're going to have to go into the misty world. Let's go ahead and get our runic altar real quick. And that's going to be 3 living rock, 2 marble pillars, and another mana pearl. I may actually have to get mana before I can do this, though. Nope, I got enough. Cool. I don't really want to mess with having to craft out marble pillars and things like that, so I'm just going to go ahead and get a chisel so that we can start chiseling that. I need 2 of them. And then it's going to go like that, and then we need some living rock. So there we go. And then we'll just hit that with the resonating wand. And this will get us our living wood altar, or our runic altar. And there we go. That quest is done. And then welling up. Though the connection between mana and starlight is weak, insetting a rune of air into a basin of marble with some aquamarine and a rock crystal is enough to cause it to actively focus starlight through what is placed in it, transforming the essence of that item into a liquid. This serves 2 valuable purposes. Firstly, aquamarine and rock crystals can melt into liquid starlight, which will be needed going forward. Furthermore, many of the liquid production processes you've done up to now can effectively be performed more effectively within a light well. Okay. So for that, we're going to have to get a rune of air and we're going to have to get a rock crystal. That's all well and good, but I want to return back over to the Jaded Amaranthus. Because what we were requiring from this was really just a rune of spring, which requires blueberry and 3 golden oak saplings. Then we're going to have to make these 2 runes. Sweat ball, jar, ooh. It's not terrible. Oh, but we are going to need an ember crystal before we can pull this off from Embers. So, we're going to have to wait. In that case. Alright, well, let's go ahead and just set this, we'll set this up like right here. It's fine. Alright, now one thing I want to go ahead and do is get another spreader. And this spreader is going to be used to feed over into the runic altar. I do have all of this chunk loaded. That's great. Let me grab this. And let me also just go ahead. I'm going to get some more charcoal made up. Because I'm starting to get a bit low on charcoal. So we'll go ahead and get that going. I'm going to let it run for a little bit. Because I'm going to need a bit more mana before everything's all said and done. Daytime. Oh, it's about to be daytime. Okay. I don't think I'll have time to... I should have did this first. Ah! There is some right over here. Okay, now I've got to go way down. This is, well, we're at wild 124 right now. I have to go pretty far down. That's fine. And I did forget to bring a shovel. I mean, not a shovel, but my niobium pick. I'd put it away because I was like, well, we're going to go to the Aether today. But that was a little bit short-lived. We are going to be going back to that, though, for sure. And technically right now we can go ahead and push into getting those metal types, and we will, because I think that's going to start Embers for us, which will lead into, you know, the Jaded Amaranthus, which is great. But I do want to just go ahead and get some rock crystal and get a few of these things out of the way. But on the plus side, it's a good chance to gather up lots of basically foggy cobblestone, because we're going to be needing that for lots of living rock, you know, as time goes on. So... and we're about to be headed down into the mist. But you can see it's starting. We're starting to mine a lot faster because at this layer, of course, niobium is not required. Okay, now we're reaching kind of the bottom. This is the hard foggy stone layer. Now I do need to switch over to the diamond pick. It can break this, but you can see that it's very slow about it. This is where things are going to take a little bit longer. But you can see up at the top left, we're not too bad off. We're good on our coal, on our breathing mask, you know. But this is about like breaking obsidian at this point. Okay, we have reached rock crystal at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and just break this off. How did we do? Did we only get one? Yeah, we only got one. Purity and cutting is pretty bad on it. I'm going to dig down like one more block, just see if maybe there's another one hidden down here. It's very likely that there may not be. Now I imagine this hard foggy stone, there may be some uses for it a little bit later. But we do have a decent amount of that built up. Now later on we will be able to mine this a bit faster. I think niobium pick is a little bit faster than diamond, but of course you're not getting the drop that way. At least with the diamond pick, we are getting the drop. Okay, yeah, I'm not seeing any, so I'm going to go ahead and just island home at this point. Let's see, the light whale. To do this, we are going to need the rock crystal, and then a bunch of like standard junk, but we're going to need a rune of air, which does require that we get skyroot leaves and cold arrow cloud, and then just any kind of feather. So let's go ahead and pop on into the misty world. Not the misty world, the Aether. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and just get some of these cold arrow clouds. And then we're going to pop on over. And I want to get some of the saplings off of this tree. A lot of them went over the edge. That's fine. I've got a few, which is all I was really after. go. And we can kill ourselves some flying cows, get some easy raw beef. And let's see, we're also going to need skyroot leaves. Oh, leaves. Let's go ahead. I want to get a few of these blueberries from over here. Yeah, let me go ahead, just island home. Let me get some shears real quick. Alright, so let's just pop back down here. I see a golden oak right there. I think that's what we needed, right? Let me just double check. No, just skyroot leaves. Just general skyroot leaves. And there's our sweat balls, and we're getting some glowstone. We'll definitely want more of those, but we can get those later. They're fairly common mobs in the Aether. And as you can see, the Aether is fairly peaceful. For the most part, there is, of course, some bosses and some mobs that do get a little bit dangerous, especially at night, that are going to try to pull you off. But for the most part, it's actually not too bad of a dimension to kind of peacefully... Hey, you just stole my, my berries. Oh man, there's a ton of these. There's 2 more. Okay. If I keep going after these, I'm just going to keep running around. So I'm just going to check this one out real quick. Gold, glowstone, and iron. Let me just put that into my offhand for right now. I'm going to warp home in just a moment, but and a little bit more gold and glowstone. Really looking for aquamarine, but we can make aquamarine shell without any issue at this point, so that's fine. Alright, but to make the Rune of Air, we are going to need to get some mana steel, which is that niobium tossed in. Let me grab a piece of that, and then let me grab let me just grab a piece of oh, how to make sugar in this pack. Mortar and pestle. Okay. Yeah, let me just throw that in. There we go. And we'll go ahead and get that, and so that, and we need one of the cold arrow clouds. And then we just need a feather or a wing or anything like that. Technically, we could go ahead and summon a chicken. Chicken requires raw chicken. Okay. And to make raw chicken, nacra in a cauldron with pork chop. Boom. There we go. And to do that, I am going to need a pork chop. Let me just pop in to here. We can summon a pig as well. It's actually like a chain reaction. We could have had all the animals a lot sooner, but I really haven't been all that concerned about it. But after reaching here, what we can do is knock all of these guys away from us. That's great. Alright, bye. We're just going to kill ourselves a pig. And there we go. We got a pork chop. And I do have enough charcoal here to get some blocks. I'm going to go ahead and get 4 blocks of charcoal, because this will allow this to burn a lot longer for us. Okay, but let's go ahead. We'll get our mana. We'll get our nacra. We'll get our raw chicken. And then rinse and repeat one more time. I'm going to go ahead and summon 2 chickens so that I can just start off breeding right out the bat, you know. Possibly breed and then kill one just to make the process a little bit faster for us. And I do have pins over here just for the base animals. This doesn't include like animals from the Aether and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and let's toss in that, and cast. Oh wait, I just summoned pigs. That's alright. Let's go ahead and summon another set of pigs. There we go. That's all well and good. And then over here, we will summon... there we go. Actually, right over here, we'll summon chickens in this one. So that. And for some reason they fall through the table. Alright. Now let me go ahead and just breed these real quick. There we go. We get ourselves another chicken. And there's our feather. And then we can throw that in and get that running. That's going to start crafting for us. Now bear in mind, of course, like with the Astral Tome and stuff, there is the Akashic Tome, if you're interested in that. I'm not personally all that interested in it. I don't usually use the Akashic Tome. I think a lot of it is because I don't find it valuable to do, or to use that mod, but that's just me. I know a lot of people like it, so that is available within the pack. So just a heads up. But let's go ahead, throw that on, get that crafted. There is our Rune of Aether, and then that we're going to need the 2 aquamarine. We are going to need the rock crystal, and then we're going to need to get ourselves 2 chiseled marble and 3 runed marble. Toss that in, and smack that with the resonating wand. And there we go, welling up. And we get as a reward 30 aquamarine. Now I'm going to go ahead and set this up, and we're at 98 elevation. I'm not too worried about it. We could go a little bit higher and get better output, but not all that concerned. Alright, so that's going to start running. And do we have, what do we have for like tanks? We do have the radiant tank, but I believe, this is a lot of what I'm waiting for, but I believe that we're actually going to have to push a bit further, yeah, before we can start getting into Arcane Archives. I think it just, in general, it's a bit further. Getting Dawnstone, to get the Radiant Resonator, we are going to need Nature Sora. I think there's the Embers Fluid Vessel that'll be coming out before too long. Yeah, I guess that's probably the route that we'll be wanting to take. Technically, I could go ahead and make this. I think the niobium and lead and living wood. Okay, that's where we're headed to, though. So worst comes to worst, for right now, when this fills up, I may just bucket it and put it over here for now or something. But okay, so we got that. Now next up, alteration. The luminous crafting table is useful by itself, but its ability to absorb and channel starlight is limited. However, by utilizing some of the other materials you've unearthed, you can enhance it. Combine this with a structure built of marble and sooty marble, and you'll find yourself with a much more capable starlight crafting altar. Yay! And then resonating starlight is fickle. As you may have already noticed, there are areas around the world where it's weaker and stronger, and furthermore, altitudes affect it too, as you reach that little bit closer to the stars. Using some liquid starlight, you can make a device which will show you where the starlight shines brightest. That's all well and good. The reward from that's actually pretty nice, but what I want to do right now is get some copper and some lead. That sounds great. So we're going to need some iron dust, some mana powder, and we're going to need magma block and acre petals to do this. Sounds good. Now, I do have some iron over here. I'm going to go ahead and just pop over and grab it. But we do have a little bit of liquid starlight. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. And I'm just going to put it over here for now because we are going to need it for some crafting. And so I need a spot over here. Although I don't really have a good spot. There we go. That looks good. We're going to go ahead and just dump it in right there. So we do have a place where we can craft with liquid starlight. Now I need the acre petals, which I've got. And then I need the... I'm going to need the mana powder also. But I am going to need some magma blocks. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop into the nether. Really quick. Iron berries. Cool. And do we see, by chance, any magma blocks around? I'm going to go ahead and head. Usually you find them a little bit lower underground a lot of times. Yeah, like right over there's a bunch. We'll just pop over. There we go. And we'll just gather up a little bit of this. Oh. Little cavern down here. Realistically, I think I've got enough of these, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time gathering them. But, and then we craft it into at least 6 buckets of liquid mana. Oh man, I hope this doesn't consume it. If it does, this is just going to be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That. Get that stuff crafting together. No, it does not consume it. Beautiful. So we got the lead, and then we're going to get that, and get our copper. And there we go. Don't lick the lead quest completed. We do get some lead and some copper ingots from that. Okay, and then ugh, so boring. In times long past, the deep mountain folk, unskilled in magics powered by their own bodies, devised ways to use metallic materials to harness the raw energy of the molten core of the world. Though our world is gone and lacks any sort of core now, we should be able to utilize the core of the misty world instead. The difficulty lies in how much deeper you'll need to go to access the core. The rocky depths of the misty world have much sturdier stone, comparable only to obsidian. You will, however, need to delve deep enough to find bedrock. Once you've reached bedrock, you'll need to place and fuel an ember borer to start producing ember shards. Okay. Now, I do have one thing I want to try once we get this crafted up. But we will try that. Okay, and I'm going to have to get, to make mechanical cores, I'm going to have to get rock crystals. Let me actually see about, well, I don't have time today before nighttime hits, but I do want to go ahead and get an enchantment table because I want to get into enchanting a bit. Yeah, I mean, right now, efficiency 1 would be about the best I could pull off without bookcases, but I could start making some books and stuff. I do have a little bit of leather, so I might start getting some bookcases together, but since it's almost night, I do want to go ahead and push down underground and see about getting some of those rock crystals. So I'll be back here in just a little bit. And I did go ahead and go down into the mess this time around to look for crystals, because this will make our lives a little bit easier. With the less we have to mine down, even though it is painfully slow, there is a chance we might get extra rock crystals from a single ore. It's a possibility, so fingers crossed, I guess. Okay, I dug down. I went ahead and marked this as bedrock, so if we find that we need bedrock, we specifically need it from the Misty World, we do have it available, but we do have 3 rock crystals here. Came out pretty good on this, and we got 2 off the first one, which I will definitely take. 1 on that one, and 2 on that one, so we have done pretty well, I think. We'll go ahead and pop on back. That's really all I need. Now I'm going to take the ones with probably the lowest purity, which will be this one. And then we'll also be taking this one. I actually want 2 mechanical cores for this. And to do this, we are going to need that. We're going to need 3 foggy stone. We're going to need a lead plate. So we are going to have to get a tinker's hammer. That's fine. So Tinker's Hammer is just like this, that, there we go. And then we're going to have to get 2 lead plates. And I am going to need to get just a bit of foggy stone cooked up, like the actual, foggy stone. And we'll go ahead and get some of this cobblestone cooking up. And the worst part here is that our lead plates take 2 ingots each. I don't believe that there's an easier way before stamping to do this cheaper, so there we go. Oh, we can actually use cobblestone for this. Not bad. Okay. I don't want to waste the smelted version if I don't have to. So that. And I'm going to have to wait till nighttime. That's fine. While I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff together. We're going to need copper. We're going to need niobium. I do need to get some more niobium smelting up. Alright, so to get our camonite, this is going to require camonite blend that has been smelted, which is sand, rocks, and clay. This does craft a half stack at a time, though. Throw that in there. Throw that in there. Now, some of the stuff we are going to use is straight up camonite a bit later on. That's fine. Now, in addition, I am going to need some item extraction and input stuff. Basically 2 chests for this, and I'm going to need, I don't know if it shows it. Yeah, it shows it right here. Item pipes and item extractors. Camonite plates are just 2 camonite blend in this pack, and then smelt that. So let me go ahead. It's going to take me 4 lead to pull this off. But there we go. There's our item pipes. Now the item extractor, we need 2 redstone and a Caminite plate. And this also gives us our very first source of kind of item transfer, item piping. And so this is kind of when we can start, well, not necessarily moving into automating a lot of things, but we can automate some things, I do believe, at this point. Go ahead and get a couple chests. Let me get a lever. And then let me get a hopper as well. Just because it's cheaper than going with a an item extractor at this point for us. Okay, so now we're really just waiting for night to get this crafted out, get our 2 mechanical cores. Then we can get our ember bore, which actually, now that I think about it, I think this needs to be crafted in the luminous crafting table. It does. Our Caminite, which is kicking away. And I'm going to go ahead and get some more charcoal going as well. Okay, we can go ahead and get our mechanical cores now. And there's one. We'll go ahead and get that other one crafted up. And then we're going to get our ember bore. Which we're going to need a lot more starlight for that. There we go. We'll go ahead and get the ember bore crafted out. This will probably be the last thing that we do today, because I know it's about wrapping up point. I just want to push on forward and get this done. There we go. And we got our mechanical core. We've got everything. Now, one thing I want to try before we go to the Misty World. I want to try just doing this in the Nether. Because normally the only requirement really for the ember bore is that it's placed on bedrock. Well, bedrock exists in the Nether also. You do have to be a little bit more careful going down to it, but once we have a pathway down to it, it's not too big of an issue to get back to it, right? So we're just going to pop down. This is Y55. Yeah, this should be good. Actually, we can go down just a little bit deeper here. I like this. The only thing to watch out for is that we don't hit lava. All we need to make sure, all we need to ensure is that our center point is on top of bedrock. That's really it. So I'm going to dig this up just so we got a little bit of space to maneuver around in here. And we're going to go ahead and block that off. We're going to place down our ember bore setting there. We're going to put our mechanical core in right there. We're going to put a hopper inputting in there. And we'll be coming down this side. And then we'll put a chest in here with an item pipe and an item extractor there. This is for pulling out the items, of course. And our lever there. And I did forget to bring the smeltables. So let me go ahead and mark this. Let me just grab our charcoal. We're going to let this run for a minute. We're going to see if we get embers from this. If not, that's okay. We'll just pop to the Misty World and do it. It's not a big deal. I've already got the area dug out. It's just here we won't have to worry about the stuff in the air. Oh. There we go. Okay. Didn't take any fire damage. I mean fall damage, but I was trying to use the elytra, to be fair. Alright, let me throw in like 4 charcoal. Get this thing running and see if it pulls out the... we're going to go ahead and hit that to on. We are getting ember grits. That's a good sign. Now Embers does have the atmospheric gauge that we could use to see like ideal places to run the ember bore, but the thing is that costs in copper, and the fact that at the moment we have to craft copper the very terrible way, which is this. Not expensive, but it's just so annoying. This whole crafting system is just so annoying. Now it looks like ember grit's not really used for too much beyond its standard uses, so we'll probably just cycle most of that back in as a fuel source, I think. It's looking good. We are getting ember shards, we're getting ember grit. Wonderful. That's going to complete that quest. We did get 30 additional ember shards for doing that, so yay. And you can see we got activation. While ember shards are the key to the magics of the core alone, they do very little. to get more out of them, you'll need to use an activator to convert them into raw ember energy. And then flowering. While mystical mushrooms are sufficient for the purpose of dealing with mana, they're not renewable. If you upgrade your ironwood wand using your new ember shards, it can channel some of the magics from the core to transform the mystical mushrooms back into mystical flowers. All colors count for this task. Okay, and that means that we can get actual flowers. Now we could also just make a jaded amaranthus and be done with that. Of course it does require mana to do that, and this way we could grow these into 2 tall flowers. Oh, and we got ember crystals also. But before we end out the episode, I think we're going to do one last thing. I know I keep saying that, but this is the last thing. We're going to go ahead and just get that upgraded wand real quick. So to craft this, simple ironwood wand, living wood twig, drained nacre pearl, and then we're also going to need an ember shard and a sapphire. There's that. We'll go ahead and cast it. And then I'm going to grab out the mushrooms that I've got, which is black and brown. Pink. I think that's it at the moment, which is fine. And then what we can do is we can take and just place these down and hit them, and we get mystical brown flowers. There's black flowers. There is pink flowers. And then we get some floral fertilizer, which actually has no crafting recipe in this pack, but we can easily, you know, just go around, and I don't think it's used for anything either. The red string nutrifier. And it looks like we're missing 1 flower color at the moment, so let me go ahead and just toss out a couple more of this. Yeah, there we go. We got all 16 colors of flowers now. And then, of course, if I want to grow more of these, it's fairly simple to do. I don't really need these floral fertilizers anymore. And instead, what I can do is say I want white. I can just take these, and I am going to need some shears. So let me grab that. We can take and we can plant out our petals, bone meal them, shear them, rinse, repeat. There's more petals. And I want to see something. Sometimes it's enabled to where you can get the 2 tall flowers just by punching them, but that is disabled, so make sure and use the shears for that. You can dump those into there. So now we have plenty of flowers to use for whatever we may need them for. So yay. And with that, I know it's about wrapping up point, so I am going to end it out here. Next episode, of course, we will push on a bit deeper into this stuff and probably start looking towards finishing out this tab, but we'll see how things go as we work towards that. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We have a cow that's come over from the Aether, which is interesting because we live on clouds. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.